So hi, my name is Cujo. I haven't known really what to talk about the past couple weeks, to be honest. I've thought about stuff to talk about, but I think today I want to talk about death because I haven't really talked about death directly on the channel. I think one of the most healthy things for you to do is to bring up the idea that you're going to die, that all of us are going to die that are alive right now. And I think most people, the guttural reaction is like, oh my god, like, I don't want to acknowledge that, or it's just sad to think about death and suicide and all that, and it's not a good thing to talk about. But like, one of the things about life is that we were born into this world, and the other guarantee is that we're going to die and leave this world. So I think that because life is limited, it's very beautiful. It makes everything so much more meaningful because of that, or less meaningful depending on your perspective with it. But I had been thinking about how I've changed as a person, and how I think death can either be one of those things where it makes you shy away from life and then basically decay slowly into the grave, or you go out in a ball of flames type of thing. Because like, with all the self-improvement that we do and all of the things that we build up, it is going to eventually fade away. I am going to get old. I'm going to get frail. I am going to die. I'm going to lose all the muscle that I gain, all the knowledge that I gain. And depending on your religion, I'm either going to go to heaven, or I'm going to be reincarnated, or, well, we just, honestly, for me personally, I don't know what's going to happen. And I think a lot of people really don't. But I mean, the way that you think about death, or the way that you approach death, I think will be the way that you approach life, if that makes sense. Death is basically the unknown, and at the root of all fears that we have, it is the fear of death that keeps us from doing anything. That is what fear is the afraid of death, of change, of something happening. I mean, fear is a good thing to have in certain contexts, like a fear of snakes is kind of a good fear because, you know, you get bit by a snake, based on other people's experience, you're probably gonna die if you get bit by a snake, depending on the snake. But like, as humans, I think we gain fears that are rational and irrational, and a lot of challenging those beliefs and challenging the fears based off of other people's experience is how we grow as people. If you're able to face the unknown in life, then you're going to be able to face death as well. At least that's the theory, I think. Maybe like when I get close to dying, or I go to die, I'm gonna be flipping my shit. I mean, probably, maybe, I don't know, but I try to live life in the sense of, I am going to die, so I'm going to do the things that I want today in this moment with the most effort that I can give them. But you get into like nihilism, and then people are like, well, if nothing matters, if we die and then lose everything, why would you even try? There's no point to anything because we die. And I think it's kind of like a perspective on how you look at it type thing, because it's like, oh, you could be like, oh, nothing matters and I'm gonna die and I'm gonna lose it all. But then in the same context, you can say the exact same thing, and it's like, I'm gonna die and I'm gonna lose it all, so like, who cares really what I do? Like, I'm just gonna do whatever I want and live life to the fullest that I can. And I've had a perspective shift like that, to where I think I get a lot more embarrassed. I embarrass myself a lot more now, and I look a lot more dumb in situations. But I would rather experience the hurt and the pain of looking like a fool, like an idiot, and being misunderstood, rather than spend my life in my 50s onward wondering how things would have been if I tried certain things, if I had lived in a certain way. I just don't want to get close to the grave and then regret my life. I like Stoicism a lot. I think Stoicism is one of those philosophies that can be misunderstood, but for the most part, people understand it correctly, and it aligns with a lot of other like Eastern philosophies. But I've heard memento mori thrown around in Stoicism a lot. Memento mori is a Latin phrase that basically means remember that you are going to die. And it's one of those things that I try to think about daily in order to just do the best that I could in the day that I have, and then be grateful when I wake up in the morning that I have another day to try to take steps towards a life that I want, to experience the most beauty that I can, to experience healthy relationships and the things that I feel like money can't buy, to build the most of it that I can before I die. And because we die and we lose it all, it's a motivation of why not. Like, I might as well do that and experience the most of life that I can, and then just lose it all and do it again, or go to heaven. I don't know. Whatever you believe, I guess. I'm 24, and I think about a ton of people my age living in fear, and it's not an easy thing to do, like to approach fear. So it's like I have compassion for anyone that lives in fear. If anyone is watching this and you're so fearful, or you feel like you're fearful of things, and I think if you want to live in fear, that is your human right. But I think the most beauty and the most fun and joy we can get from life is to directly confront the things that we're afraid of, because that is a rebellion against death, I would say. It's essentially standing in the face of death or the Grim Reaper and saying, I acknowledge your existence, but I still choose life, even knowing, like, you can take away that from me. It's like, not, life isn't something that we can truly have, but we're still going to give it our all. At least that's what I have, or I try to do. I try to call memento mori daily. I try to think that I'm going to die. I will just try the best that I can with the time that I have and explore life, explore the world, do things that I want to do. And I would just want the same for other people, I think. But I don't call it to let it bring me down. I think it is a really sad thought, but I think just choosing to live is always daily winning over death. So I think if anyone is afraid of death watching this, if you're a teenager, you're an adult like me, a little bit older, or all that, you're nearing your death, you're like in your 80s, why are you watching me on YouTube? What are you doing? Go do something else if you're 80. I'm just kidding. Stay here and watch me, please. Give me the views. Give me the YouTube clout. But yeah, I would just like this video to be a reminder to anyone doing anything out there. If you feel like you're stuck in life, if you feel like you're not going anywhere, for one, have compassion for yourself, because you are human and it's okay to be human, and you're going to make mistakes, and you are limited because you're in a body and you are a human being. You are experiencing life. You are not like a human God, I guess. You were just experiencing what it means to be a creature on this planet. So there's only so much you can do. But if you show up every day, you think of death not in an existential way, but in acknowledging it, having an existential crisis about it maybe a couple times, but then deciding to choose life and to choose to do the best that you can, because, well, we just have nothing better to do. At least that's my approach with things. Like, I might as well get strong because it's fun to get strong. I might as well go and take women to dinner, or just go out with friends and go celebrate holidays and be a part of society and a part of life, because we don't have anything better to do. And it's fun. I think the human experience is, you can be a part of it and ride the highs and lows, but then understand that through the highs and the lows that it will pass. And what matters is what you do in the face of death, rather than blindly moving through life, I guess, with the understanding of death is coming, and the way you navigate in the face of death is, I think, what determines what your life was and the kind of person that you are. So I think developing faith and developing hope, even with the acknowledgement of death, is probably the best thing you can do for your psyche. Depending on what you believe in, depending on if you hold a certain religion. I personally don't hold a specific religion, but I have faith that something is out there, and even if it's just I lose consciousness and then nothing happens, that I think that I'm okay and at peace with that, and I'm going to do everything in my power with my life that I have in order to move towards a life that I want, just to lose it all and accept that that is going to happen. I don't know. I think that that's love in a way. Yeah. To be or not to be, that is the question. You must answer that question. But yeah, I just wanted to talk about death. I don't really have anything prepared at the moment. I'm trying to work on some projects, and if I can execute them, they will be really cool. So I hope you guys like them. I don't know, like, subscribe, follow me on YouTube and TikTok, and just do what you want, man. you know how the social media works. This video, I would like to be something for me to return to. And Cujo, future Cujo, if you're watching this, just try to approach life with the knowing that you are going to die, but you might as well choose love and life and doing the most selfless, virtuous things that you can while you're here to show humanity that you choose life over death, even with the acknowledgement that death is the only guarantee in the end. It's how it's going to end. So, thank you for taking the time for watching this. If you did, especially to this point, I do really appreciate it. I'm going to go try to do some more courageous acts in the face of death. So, wish me luck, gang. So, yeah, go ask that girl out. Go get the job. Go live your life. Go be a hillbilly. Go, I don't know, be a CEO of some company. Do whatever you want to do. And don't let fear hold you away from it. Choose the things that you value and choose the things that are important to you, even if death takes it away. So, thank you for taking the time to watch this, and goodbye now.